Batra Daf Kuf V'Amud Aleph, by the top Mishnah. Bismanav Uvmisarav. If a guy says, I'm selling you a field, Bet Kur, and he identified it by the boundaries or some landmarks that are on the property. And then you found out that it wasn't the size of a full Bet Kur. Pahot Mishtut, if it's less than a sixth difference, Higio, the price, the sale goes through. Ajtut, if it's exactly a sixth difference, 16% ish, Yinake, you deduct the price. It my brother says Rav Huna says Pashtut if it's exactly a sixth, Kipahot Mishtut, it's like we compare it to like less than a sixth and sale goes through. Rav Yudan says no, Kishtut Kioshter Mishtut, 1/6 is equal as if it's more than a sixth and you have to change the price. Rav Huna Marshtut Kipahot Shtut, Rav Huna says that it's exactly the same. Hachek Amar says as follows: Pechot Mishtut Ushtut Bechla. When it says that the field is missing less than, it means even if it's missing up to and including a sixth. Yoter mishtut, but if it's lacking more than a sixth, yinakeh, you deduct the price. That says mashtut kyoter mishtut. No, the opposite variation. The sixth is equal to more than a sixth. Hare command the Mishnah says the following: Pahot mishtut, if it's less than a sixth, hegiyot, sale goes through. Ad shtut, v'shtut bechlal, yinakeh. If it's a sixth or more, then you deduct. Right? We have a question. Mishnah said that if you selling by the boundaries or the landmark, if you added or subtracted a sixth of the property, this is like the same halacha for a case where Betin makes a mistake, and higio, the price, the sale goes through. So the case of where the judges made a mistake, it's talking about a case where 1/6 is the equivalent of more than 1/6, and we see that Rabbi Yehuda would hold. It would seem to go according to Rabbi Yehuda that 1/6 is equal. Sorry, then more than 1/6, not less than. Marlach Rav Huna would say no, not a good proof. According to your reasoning, you're trying to tell me that 1/6 equals more. Hegio Katani, but the Mishnah clearly said that the sale goes through. Seemingly, the sixth is equal to less than a sixth. Ella, so the Braita has to be explained somewhere else. It's comparable to the case of a mistaken judge case, but also not comparable. Kishum then in the shtut, it's comparable to the case where exactly a sixth, and that is forgiven. But it's not compared to like the case of the judgment mistake. The case of the judgment mistake will void the sale. In the case over here, with the case where he told him the landmarks or the boundaries, the sale goes through. Papa bought land from this person. The seller told him, the land is 20 measures in size. But it ended up being 15. 25% decrease. When Papa came to Abaye for halacha, Abaye told him, sorry, you were standing there and you must have realized it and you forgave it. Mishnah says, we said that if it's less than a sixth, if it's more than a sixth, sorry, you deduct. So how come over here he can't get a refund? He says, that's when the guy is not supervising the sale, he's not standing in front of the property. Over here, like you, where you are familiar with the field, you're standing in front of the field and you see that obviously 25% is he overestimated by 25%. Savar Kabil must be that you realized it and you didn't care. But he told me 20. Maybe if I saw that it was smaller, fine. Maybe I thought he would either make up the difference or Yani in a Hanami, I agree that maybe Rapapa saying that okay, if I noticed it, I noticed it, but maybe I thought that he'd pay up for it at least. Marley says maybe the seller didn't mean to say 20 and he'll pay you until 20, but rather he says 20, that this 15 is a good sale, just like a 20 measured size. Yani, it's a very good high quality land. Tana Batra says, brothers who divided an inheritance. Once the first guy draws the raffle for, let's say, the field or the house, he picks up the field, they all acquire, the rest of the brothers acquired immediately. My time, why? How that possible? It's like Eretz Yisrael when Yoshua raffled off the lands of Eretz Yisrael to the Shvatim, so too it happened immediately, like there. Over there, you use lottery tickets and they wouldn't even tell you who's living where. I've come to Kapev Urim. We use Urim Turim here, obviously not. Where it says Amar Rashi, no. The reason why it works over here, like Eretz Yisrael, because when you pick up the raffle and this guy is getting the field, that hana'ah that they are getting by splitting the property the other guy with that benefit that he's getting, with that good feeling, he can acquire the house. Itmar, Shnei Achin Shachaku, two brothers splitting a property. A third brother shows up from nowhere from overseas, saying he's one of their brothers, and he proves it. So now they already split it 50-50. Rav Marav says, Batla Mahoket, you have to resplit everything now 33% each, divide everything again. Shmuel Marsh wants no, each brother takes off percentages of their original and gives it to the new brother without having to put everything back in the pot to split. According to Rav, who says that they have to redivide it, Dina, we see from here that a judgment can be reversed and you make a new division, you don't just fix it. That's the case. They came in a case of three partners who were in the city. And two of them decided to split up the partnership and they divided it without the other guy knowing. So it's over there. You should have to redivide it. How come we say you don't redivide it? Where it says no, you can't compare. In the case of the partners, they went in knowing that they're splitting it between three people. And therefore they divided it 33% each. But over here, regarding the brothers, Rav holds it over here, doesn't work by the brothers because they only split it 50-50. And therefore, if you want to now split it 33% each, you have to put it back in the pot and now slice it 30% each. The Shmuel comes in. According to Shmuel, says that if the third brother appears out of nowhere, you have to divide, you take off a piece of your property and you hand it over. Seemingly, Shmuel holds that even if people did not receive their initial share, the din stands through and you divide it like we just saw. They say, however, we see over there that in the famous concept we had before that if a guy says, I'm selling you a core property for 30 slaim, then even if I didn't pay the last thing, it still doesn't go through because I said 30. Versus a kid, if I say I'm selling you a core for 30 salim, then one se'ah per selah, then every coin I give, I acquire one se'ah. So we see from here, and the case of the first one, where he said stam a core for 30, as long as you didn't pay that full amount, then you can back out. Seemingly, even if I already acquired it. So how come over here by the brothers, he can't force the brothers to redivide it? If you see over here, you can redivide it. No. In that case of the sale, the Hachamim made a special takana because they wanted the seller and the buyer to have the ability to retract in that scenario. In the case of brothers regarding inheritance, however, they don't want to divide it. They want to just divide they don't want to redo this again, this whole thing again. They just want to get rid of this concept. They want to move on past the inheritance. It's a hard time. Third guy showing up, okay, you give him 12%, you give him whatever, you give him 11.5, 12, 16.5%, you give him 16.5%, 30% each. Shalom Yisrael.